will probably give them a better chance in getting that organ. Myself, I had a liver transplant 7 years ago, and it was, I went right to the wire. I had 2 days left to live. And, you know, it's by the grace of God that, you know, a family was courageous enough to say yes when they were approached. And also they were courageous enough with their decision to not just save my life, but 5 others. So that's 6 people that got saved as a result of this one decision. It is an extremely important decision, and one that we're trying to bring even much more attention than we already have. I think this issue should be right in the top 5 when it comes to priority in our government. 160 people are going to probably pass away this year, and that's been the statistic year after year. The waiting lists are growing bigger and bigger, yet we're still suffering with the shortage. This is a very important message that we have to bring to everyone. That's the first part. The second part is we have to look at some reform in our system, because it fails us in 2 ways. We are asked right now to make this decision, but we need to share this wish with our family, because they're going to be approached to make the final decision. Now, the problem with that is that when they're approached, they're in a state of shock and grief. And it is terribly difficult for them at that moment to say yes. And many times it's happened where they couldn't say yes, and afterwards they lived with a lot of regret and anger because they missed out on an opportunity. And they would have said yes beforehand, and they would have said yes afterwards. But it's a very difficult time to approach somebody. You can never guarantee that you're going to be ready at that moment, you know, being in a state of shock. The other thing is what we've been finding out, and I've been talking to millions of Canadians across 500 cities, is that Canadians are good people, and they do have a desire to donate their organs. As a matter of fact, what I found out, and all the other statistics that have been done in Canada, is that we have over 90% of Canadians that are willing and have a desire to donate their organs. Yet, we're still suffering with this tremendous shortage. The problem there is that some Canadians don't get around to signing that card and sharing the wish with their family before their time comes. So we have a lot of organs that have gone to waste needlessly. You know, people that have wanted to have donated their organs. So what we're trying to do is reform the system. We want to try and make the decision legal binding, because at present it's not legal binding. And we want to create a registry. We want to look at other countries that are doing really well in this area, such as Spain. They have 3 times the amount of organ donations that we have. And they've had that rate for the last 20 years. And people on their waiting list are not waiting desperately. They're waiting optimistically, because most of them will receive organs. We can do the same in our country. And that's why we live in a great country, because we have a country where we can have any change that can better our society. And if this is the change that we need to better our society, then I'm sure that with a little more work, that we will get around to doing that. At present, the system that we have been using has not been working, and we need to fix it. That's going to be the second part of my journey after I finish this, is I'm going to start doing whatever I can, and I'm determined to see our system get better. I want to also take this opportunity to acknowledge Dave and Source for Sports. While I was walking to DC, I was on my 4th pair of running shoes, and they were worn and torn, and I had infected feet. And I was approaching Castlegar, DC, and the news got out that I was approaching with infected feet. And there was a gentleman gentleman there that presented me with a new pair of shoes at the press conference. And he told me he was the chairman of Source for Sports. And he said he was really interested in helping me out in the rest of my campaign. Source for Sports has 150 stores across Canada, and since that day, we've been getting tremendous help in every community where there's a Source for Sports store. And it's because of the help that we're getting from Source for Sports that we've been able to make it this far. So I know Dave was too humble to mention that, but I really wanted to say thank you to you and everybody else at Source for Sports for helping out. Thank you. And I just want to veto everybody else that the mayor thanked, the police force, for once again for coming out, and you know, the school for coming out.
Good.
This is what we always say: together we can all save lives. Thank you.
There is a need for people to be made aware of to give tissue and organ donation. For myself, I've been a volunteer with the Canadian National Institute for the Blind for the past 36 years, and let me tell you, I've seen the result of just a cornea transplant, where one time one grandmother who had never seen her children or grandchildren got a cornea transplant, and then she said that was the best Christmas gift that she ever had. And we all know our young friend Yves Joannis from Timmins here was recently received a lung transplant, and he was definitely grateful, the same as George here. And your grandson, was it? Mm-hmm. That received a kidney or liver transplant, wasn't it? Kidney transplant. So it just goes to show you that we have to create that awareness. And it doesn't mean to say that, you know, when we pass away, everything is gone. No, because if we do give some of our organs, others, as George has mentioned, can benefit from that and get a better life out of it. The cutie case was patented by myself in 1989 out of the city of Timmins, but it seems that you're never a prophet in your own city. And of course, I appreciate George when he comes around, because it gives me another opening to really promote the cutie case project. It is very encouraged by the Knights of Columbus to do this, but they don't take it on as a project itself. So as the Knights of Columbus myself, I do take the opportunity to do that every once in a while. In any case, what George has said, that you sign a card, and on our card, we also have the next of kin. My wife has already signed her name to my tissue and organ donation. So this is binding, because her signature is on this card here. And if she is my next of kin, she definitely has the authority to change her mind, but any of my other children should be able to, because she has signed it. And with this, George is going to be distributing organ and tissue cutie case kits at the Timmins Square tomorrow, and I'm sure that he's going to get the message across. So George, once again, thank you for coming to our city, and we just want to wish you well in all your endeavors, and I'm sure that we'll be hearing from you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. We have some juice. I may not have enough, but we have lots of glasses, so we can split them up and share in case you're kind of thirsty.
Sharing.
And sharing, this class knows how to share. There's 3 students in this class that have put together a birthday party for themselves, because their birthdays are all within hours of each other. I think that's the ultimate in sharing, so we're really proud of this class all the time. So I'll let you, perhaps, Dean, you can help out your class, and Renee, you can help them out and share. And
I can't. How do you zoom it in?
Come on, get closer to her. She's beautiful, George.
Closer. Give her a kiss.
Actually, that'd be pretty funny. Yeah.
Offer her. We're going to give Shania an email, see if she wants to donate when the time comes.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's 100 years.
We're going to get her on board first.
That's a good decision on the board level.